When Bobby Jones first dreamed of Augusta National and the Masters tournament, little could he have imagined the legacy he would create. But what he did envision was a club and a tournament that celebrated the ideals of golf, specifically connections between the past and the present. Enter the Strafaci family and reigning U.S. amateur champ, Tyler.
Playing the Masters and the Amateur is the pinnacle of amateur golf. I'm just looking forward to spend a very special week with friends and family. It's a week of celebration over it all, just kind of commemorating a great amateur career.
It's almost as if the Georgia Tech grad was handpicked by Bobby Jones himself. For amateur golf has been a part of the Strafaci family for more than 80 years.
That's probably a contestant medal or a contestant gift from when he played in 1950.
And if you feel this thing, it's just solid. It's pretty cool. It hasn't really aged that much if you think about it.
No?
It's unbelievable. My grandfather was this just greater than life character. He was just a small guy, but he had this huge personality and people gravitated towards him. I never met him, but I feel like I've met him. When I was a little kid growing up, like all my dad's friends would kind of say, oh, you're gonna be like Grandpa Frank, stuff like that, following your dad's footsteps, your grandfather's footsteps.
Frank Strafaci Sr. was one of the most accomplished amateur golfers of his time, winning 27 tournaments, including the U.S. Public Links and the North and South Amateur, which he won twice. He competed in the Masters twice as well, in 1938 and 1950.
I certainly knew about his accomplishments, or many of them, but I really learned a lot more about my dad after he passed. People just came out of the woodwork to talk to me about my dad and the things that he had done and what he meant to them. He was a pretty special person.
And while Frank Jr., an accomplished amateur player himself, chose a different path, his son Tyler shares very similar traits to his late grandfather. In 2020, winning both the North and South Amateur and the U.S. Amateur Championships.
The North-South is probably the first time in my life where I felt like I had a connection to my grandfather. It meant a lot to me and it meant a lot to my father, and we both, it still kind of brings me to tears. My dad's always said, my grandfather would talk about the USAM, he always said it was the holy grail of the Strafaci family. It's something that he always wanted to win, that he never won. Winning that golf tournament kind of, for me, helped me get out of my grandfather's shadows.
For it to happen for Tyler, it's kind of like 3 generations of reaffirmation.
And now, as Tyler begins his own Masters journey, the connection between the past and the present will be with him every step of the way. A connection rooted deeply in the spirit of amateur golf, which has driven the Strafaci family for all this time, just as Bobby Jones had hoped.
I don't know how many grandfather-grandson duos have ever played in the Masters. From the 30s till 2020, the Strafaci family name is still in the Masters, which is pretty cool.
It's such a magical place, and so many magical memories over the years for people. To be able to watch him be part of it is, something. Share something else with his grandfather.
The Masters is huge in our family, obviously. So just being there with them and just having a good week, meeting some people, making my own memories, stuff I'm gonna tell my kids about and my friends about. I'm really looking forward to it.